My history is actually back when, with Atari. I started with Donkey Kong, where actually he was the villain and you had to save the princess from him. And I thought it was interesting because he was the villain and things. So that was one of my favorites to play on it. And then even though it was kind of a cheesy game, I liked Pong, which all you did was bounce a ball back and forth. My favorite video game actually was on the PlayStation, and the original PlayStation, and it was Resident Evil. And how I got into it, I always loved horror, anything horror. I was suggested to try Resident Evil. So I played Resident Evil and I found out it had zombies and stuff in it, which I really loved. Then I also found it interesting with the puzzles that you got to do. It had a great story, great set of characters. The graphics for back then was really good. But now looking back, not very good, but it was one of my favorites and I still play them. I do play other games, but I play things like The Evil Within. I play other Resident Evil still. I'm still addicted to those. I've gotten better with games, especially with puzzle games. It's overall made me a much better gamer over time. And it definitely made me love video games.
Today I'm announcing, along with my colleagues, Senator Lieberman and Bai, the Family Entertainment Protection Act. This bill will prohibit the sale of violent and sexually explicit video games to minors.
Hillary made it a thing because it was a bit too easy to get a hold of, kind of not for kid rating games, so it was a good idea. So when Hillary put that in place, I did think it was a good idea. I play a lot of like M-rated games, but yeah, I'd have to say that I have no issue with it. I love exclusive games that only come out on console versus PC. And then you got your graphics. Of course, PC is going to have the better graphics. They can't really be upgraded as far as like PC can. So PC gaming, I love console gaming. And definitely speeds too, I'd have to say. The speeds are definitely. Seeing VR for the first time was amazing. It was something I wasn't familiar with. I knew of it, but it was just, it wasn't what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be basically just boring or something, but no, it's like you're really there. So it was incredible. The Manor, I had to think about that one because there's been a few games that I like playing on it. But the Manor was a really cool one because you actually have different ways you can go through it. And it's kind of intense. Also, Face Your Fears is another good one on it. Face Your Fears 2. It definitely puts you through the challenges, and I love it. I'd have to say Face Your Fears 2 is my favorite because it forces you to face things that you're typically afraid of in like everyday, like rats, spiders, heights. and it manipulates that into like different ways into the game. And you have to get through these challenges in the game and puzzles. And they add puzzles, so puzzles is another thing I like doing. So it makes it that much more fun for me. The heights was one of my biggest things to get through. It was like a huge obstacle, but I managed to do it. Of course, once you put it on and stuff, it has many different cameras to track your movement. It's got 2 different controllers right here. And these are how you move, which you can actually use your fingers to move around. And whatever you're doing, your fingers in the game actually do move with you. Also, I'd like to mention is the Quest 2's finger tracking is really cool. Like, however you move your fingers is how it's moved in game.
That's also an obsolete unit.
And this is an obsolete unit now. They discontinued this one. But I really love it. But I definitely want to play the newer one. It definitely makes me off balance when first getting into it. And then after getting really into it, it goes away. But after playing it for so long, I don't experience that no more. And at first, because you're in a wide open space, I was kind of freaked out when first into it. So I would have to like keep my eyes closed for a little while until I adjusted to the environment. But if you have issues with motion sickness, you might have a little issue. So be careful if you have experiences with motion sickness.